Sometimes life disappoints us. Sometimes certain experiences that we go through put a veil of darkness, a veil of sorrow, a veil of misery on our faces, such that we're not even able to recognize the Lord. We're not even able to recognize Jesus in our lives. You go to church, nothing is making sense. You kneel to pray, nothing is making sense. In fact, you can't even pray. You can't even pronounce words, put words together to form a prayer, because you are just confused because of what is going on. The environment is dark. Your emotional state is dark. There's a veil of darkness. There's a veil of sorrow covering your face. You can't see the Lord that is standing right in front of you. Now, it is in that state of being, it is in that situation that Jesus calls us by our name. It is in that state of disappointment, that state of disillusionment. It is in that state that Jesus calls out your name, because he knows you by name. Upon hearing your name being pronounced by the Lord, everything should change about your life, because that in itself is a special encounter. It is a divine encounter. Being called by your name, being called by my name, is a divine encounter. There is something special about that. It is not an ordinary encounter. It is extraordinary. Jesus calls you by name. In that state of disappointment, that state of misery, Jesus is calling you by name. He wants you to have an encounter with him. Don't close yourself to that special encounter. Allow yourself to be carried, to be called by your name, by the Lord. Put yourself there. Quite right, things might not be going the way you expect them. Quite right, you could be disappointed because of what has happened, because of what is going on in your life. Quite right, you could be feeling this sense of darkness, this sense of sorrow, this veil covering your life, this veil covering your face. You can't see light. You can't see Jesus standing in front of you. Quite right, you could be in that situation, but Jesus is still calling out your name. He's calling out that name because he wants you to have an encounter with him right in that heart of darkness, right in that state of sorrow. He wants you to see that he still cares, that he's still concerned about what is going on in your life. Being called by our name, by the Lord. And Jesus does not just do that for its own sake. There's a mission after that. There's a purpose. That when you are called by name, he wants you now to go to others, to meet others and give witness of what you have seen. Go and tell others that you have been called by your name. Go and tell others that you have seen the risen Lord. Go and tell others that you have had that special encounter with Jesus. Let others come to faith through your own experience. Tell your story. The late Pope Francis, when he inaugurated the year of hope, told us that we all carry a story on our shoulders, a story of hope, a story that we can share with the world. And in fact, to be a communicator of hope, you don't necessarily need to have been schooled, to have sat in a classroom to learn about communicating hope. Anybody that has an encounter with Jesus, with God, becomes a communicator of hope. And as we continue to celebrate this year, commemorate this year of hope, we are all sent out to go and communicate this important message. That yes, there could be darkness engulfing our environment. There could be darkness engulfing our lives. But we still remain communicators of hope, because in that situation of darkness, we have a special encounter with the Lord. The Lord that calls out our name. And he says, go and tell this story. Go to the village, go to others. Let other people see that indeed you have met the Lord, you have an encounter with the Lord, and he has changed your life. He has transformed you. He has taken away your sorrow. Go and tell that story. Your experience becomes a story of hope that you can tell to other people.